All right. So, hello and welcome to the show. No, seriously, I want to talk about my inner experience I've had since early 2012, and well, so for starters, it's been a big impact on my life. As silent as it is, it's a big impact on my life because it's basically an inner voice that took over with these memories and whatnot, and I just wanted to try to make a good video about this for anybody that's just interested in experiences like this. So, what happened in 2012 was it began with having the memory of looking at a website one night about me being autistic, and I did not know anything about anything in the universe at that time. I still am learning to this day. Uh, but what I was trying to say is that it all started with memories of a website where I was looking up all this stuff about being autistic. And I was so concerned at that time and at that age about being autistic that I just didn't know what to think of it. My parents weren't, they were like, "Oh, you're normal." They're real boomer type. They don't believe in stuff like that, and well, they do, but they just believe like you just have to be just completely bottom of the line to be considered autistic, like just dysfunctional and whatnot. And anyways, so I would look at these memories of this in my head. This is all in my head, and it started with this website where I just started remembering that, and I started remembering looking over another website talking about my life, and I could not seem to wrap my head around this in at 16, and so it over time it kind of turned into like memories of like visions of alternate realities and alien gods, and the voice would come in and add stuff to it, and basically say, there's everything in this universe is not what you thought it to be, and basically give me this whole idea of the just a basic general idea of like the philosophy of that everything is secret and it's not what we thought it to be. So that's for starters here. And it took the form over time of like different alien gods and like alternate people from like alternate timeline realities and whatnot, and like because a lot of these alternate timelines have like epic stories to them, and it's almost like a movie in your head. And so I would just sit there day and night in dark, just like think about it, and it would generate it inside of my mind, and I'd have these stories about these characters, some that which I loved dearly, early on, uh, and there was this one woman that was a very motherly figure, but also we kind of had this thing with our genophilia or something like that, because I've always had that sexual nature closer to me, I guess. So they liked me for that, and they knew that I had it. So in this, alternate timeline, I'm a young lady, and we're in this world. It's like a weird, like, again, this is all inside, so just bear with me here. It's like this, like, socialist anime kind of world almost. I don't know how that was generated at that time, but that's basically what it generated. So that was one of the main worlds that I was seeing, and I was all, and I say anime because like they worshipped like the type of character, like this type of character, and everybody's like basically just completely deprogrammed NPC. They all have like some kind of component inside of them. Yeah, a lot of, so I read about this in my book Journey of a Celestial Dream, and but anyways, she was an important character to me, so they were talking to me, and then over time it kind of transitioned to like alien gods, like these you know the Woodland Council, Fire Council, and there's divine councils of like Syrian astral bodies, all communicating to me throughout the mind over time. And this is all, inside, inner voice and whatnot. So, years kind of go by where it's like this, and they'd add a story every once in a while, or add some idea about like epic place from thousands of years ago, or alternate reality, or alien world, kind of like our own. So there's all this crazy stuff, kind of coming to me as though it was just being generated from inside, but almost out of nowhere. So I went in circles over time with this for years, and it's this forever experience. I assume like this inner voice and the visions, or at least I have to explain, too, that the visions and generated ideas don't really come to me the same way they did when I was younger. So it's it's definitely not as powerful as it used to be. But the inner voice is still much a part of me in my everyday life, every little waking moment. And it's a much higher guide. It's always been a more higher guide. The inner voice never tried to ask me to harm myself or anything like that. It just wanted to give me all these ideas of these phenomenal, exciting places across the universe. And like I said before, I find myself in circles over time because I would seek attention from different organizations and people that which I'm the one bothering, and I'm the one stepping out and trying to, like, hey, what do you think of my experience? That's the biggest mistake ever, is if you have an experience which you cannot explain, a supernatural or mystical anomalous experience of sorts that you cannot explain in any way. The last thing you want to do is go to some person or some organization and say, well, what do you think about that? Because you're not going to get the answer you want. Boy, let me tell you, I struggled with that one throughout the years. I had a lot of dreams and goals and of seeking the wrong kind of attention. I always wanted some kind of like cult community or something like that that revolved around me and this experience, and I dreamed about it for years. I still dream about having some kind of attention, some kind of the right person in life to help me with this, but I don't seek, I don't sit there and think of it like, oh, I hope to have like a cult and everything. I thought about that for a while. So, and the reason why is because, like, I live for like Leo of 2027, where we're supposed to, have some kind of follow up from this experience, the sender of this experience. I am. And it's because of the math, that it happened in Leo of 2012, which was around early March, and now we're coming up on the 1 year before this supposed date of mine occurs, and I live for that a little bit deep inside, but not as crazy as I used to. So, okay, what else? Yeah, that's kind of with that, and I just kind of give you the basic generalization of this experience. Like inner voice. I'm not going to sit here and make some 2.5 hour video about talking about. And in this civilization, what we don't know is that there was a planet here before us, and there's a godlike serpent alien being on it. No, I don't because again, that's all the fun of like the intergenerated, infinite creation. And so that's always been a part of it, and I still think about it this day. I made a book, Journey of a Celestial Dream. It's on Amazon, and it's a better explanation of like some of the visions and whatnot over time, and just the idea. It's like short stories almost of like different alien civilizations, a few alternate timelines, and just explanations of like alien gods and stuff like that. And so yeah, and that's the interesting thing about it all, is like I know it comes from this. I know this comes from some type of unknown source, that's closer to alien, we can say. But whatever it is, it didn't have to have me right then and there. But am I a part of something's harvest? I don't know. Take it for one. But there's a lot of other things that do come. I've talked to some old wise men, and that's another mistake of asking people what they think. I'll try to make a video on that in the future, talking to the wise man, as I consider him. But, he gave me the idea that it's some type of parasite that attached itself to you, and it doesn't mean that the parasite's trying to kill you like that, obviously. But there's some kind of parasite attached, because what does a parasite do? A parasite takes over the host, and that's kind of what it is with the inner voice. It's all me, it's all a part of me, but it's I'm still here, but there's something that attaches itself to me, and through that, it gave me this generated experience of what's out there, in the universe, and alien gods and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the experience for now. Like I said, my end goal is to make it to Leo of 2027 and hold out and see what happens. No matter how hard it gets here, I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be our video for today. So thanks.